Hey guys, so we just read a story on going to the doctor. Now we're going to go over a few slides that has some questions and some things to think about. So here it says, what was the story about? I want you to think of two things you remember from the story. Remember, the story was about going to the doctor. Think about what happens when you go to the doctor. What do you see when you go to the doctor? Why do we go to the doctor? So think of that and write it down write it down below in the comment box. I want you to tell me two things you remember from the story. Here we have a few pictures about what we see when we go to the doctor's office. So I have 6 pictures here. Let's go over each one and then we'll see if they are things we see in the doctor's office. So here I have a stethoscope. Here I have a vision chart. Here I have a needle. This one is a hearing test. So there are many things we might see at the doctor's office, right? So here we have the waiting room. Do we wait in the waiting room when we go to the doctor? Definitely, right? Once we sign in, we have to wait in the waiting room for the doctor to call our name or the nurse to call our name. Here we have a picture of a nurse. Do we see a nurse? We do. Before we see the doctor, we see the nurse. Remember in the story we read, the nurse would check your weight. They might check your height. They might give you a shot. They might check your vision. Here is a vision chart. This is something you might see on the wall in the doctor's office. This was also in the story. A stethoscope. The doctor uses this. The nurse uses this. They use this to check your heart, your lungs. Here is a needle, the thing we all do not like, but we need it. And here is a hearing test. This is all things we see at the doctor. Here we're going to sequence the events that happen when we go to the doctor, okay? So one of the first things that happens when we go to the doctor is what? Do we see the doctor first or do we sign in first? Let's think about it. So we sign in at the front desk. What happens after we sign in at the front desk? Do we leave? Are we done? Or do we go to the waiting room and wait for the nurse to call us? What happens after we sign in? So we wait in the waiting room for the nurse to call us in. What happens next? Do we leave? Or do we go in to see the nurse and then the doctor? There you go. So first we sign in, we wait in the waiting room for the nurse to call us, then we go in to see the nurse. After the nurse, we see the doctor. And then we say bye. We visit the doctor to make sure we are healthy. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. We see the doctor before we see the nurse. So let's think of the sequence and the order of events that happen when we go to the doctor's office. Who do we see first? So do we see the doctor first or the nurse? So yes, no, we see the nurse first. Good job. All right. What did you learn from this story? I hope you guys all took something out of this story. We all have gone to the doctor. We all will have to go to the doctor again. So I hope you guys took something important out of the story. Okay? The bottom line is we might not like going to the doctor, but we have to go to the doctor. All right, so I'm going to post this for you guys, the questions, the homework assignments, and I hope you guys complete them. If you have any questions, please let me know.